Welcome back to KCTV English News. I'm Hee-ryong Lee. Jeju Provincial Governor Hyun-jung, who announced his intention to run for presidential election next year, said he is considering whether to resign as governor and that he will decide according to the election schedule as soon as it becomes available. In an interview with Hyun-jung's news show on CBS Radio on the 15th regarding his plans to officially run for the election, Governor Won said that he will not neglect his responsibility amidst the COVID-19 situation and that he would make a clear decision on whether or not to resign from his current position after the election schedule is presented in more detail. He expressed his opinion that it would be better for him to resign and run for president, but with many in opposition to his decision, he stated that he was grappling to come to a final decision. In particular, he is considering whether holding the position of governor until the end is fulfilling his duty or whether handing the position over would be deemed as responsible. The rate of provincial residents who received their first dose of COVID-19 vaccines has been accelerating and has now reached over 23%. According to the province, the number of people receiving their first dose of COVID-19 vaccinations is approximately 16,500, which equates to 23.8% of the total population. About 40,500 people have completed the second vaccination with a rate of 6.0%, including residents who received Johnson & Johnson vaccines, which is a single-shot vaccine. Meanwhile, on the 14th, 36 suspected cases of adverse reactions to the vaccinations were received, all of which were confirmed as mild headaches and fever symptoms. A 30-year-old defendant Kim, who was charged with smoking twice after smuggling narcotics such as heroin, cocaine, and hemp resin from overseas since November last year by airmail, was sentenced 3 years in prison and 5 years on probation. During his sentencing, the court said that drug-related crimes need to be punished severely as they have a very negative effect on society. However, due to the fact that the defendant reflected on his actions, that this was his first legal offense, that he had difficulties adjusting to life in Korea after living abroad for many years, and that he suffered from depression from his inability to go back to abroad due to the COVID-19 crisis and low risk of recidivism, the court came to this final decision. More than half of the respondents said that self-governing capabilities were low in a survey that collected residents' perceptions of the government in the last 15 years. In this perception survey conducted by the province on 1,010 residents last month, 50.1% of the respondents said that the level of autonomous capacity was low, which was 14% higher than the 36.6% who answered that it is high. As to whether the status of a free international city is properly established, 51.4% of the respondents answered no, and 40.3% responded with somewhat agree. Meanwhile, 43.5% of the respondents chose tourism industry development as the area that achieved good results after the launch of the special autonomous province, followed by education industry with 34%. This perception survey was conducted on 1,010 residents between May 13th and 18th. Thank you for joining us today at KCTV English News. Be sure to follow us on YouTube at KCTV E-News Jeju and on KCTV's VOD service. Have a great evening.